All right, we wanted to do this video and show everyone kind of a hive inspection and kind of the parts of the hives. Chris is here already pulling one apart. Right now he's in the brood box, and we're going to walk over and see a closer look. You can see the bees are agitated, but they're not attacking us. They are just swarming, and that is perfectly normal and okay. A hive inspection really needs to be done once a month, just to make sure that everything is going okay and the queen is doing her job. So that's when we do a hive inspection, we are looking for certain things. We're looking for some brood to make sure that the queen is laying and doing her job. So let's see if we can find some brood in here. Okay, all up here. If you hit the light just right, and see if you can pull it down, angle it down, angle this thing down, there we go. So let's see, all of those, I don't know if the camera's wanting to focus very well. You can see right here all the white, the cells that have white at the bottom, that's larvae. So we know, we can see lots of larvae, and that's a good sign. The queen is laying very well. There is actually lots of larvae there. We always try to look for the queen, but that can be kind of hard because there are so many bees. You can see if you can see some yellow, bright yellow. Some of the bees have bright yellow on them. There's one right in here somewhere that kind of disappeared.
You might look coming in. When they go in, there's a bunch of them like that.
Okay. Okay. There's a bee right there. He just went down. And he's got some yellow. Those are pollen sacs, and they're actually little sacs in their hind legs that they shove pollen into. And that's what ends up going into the cells. We'll come over here. If you could see me, I am covered in bees. Okay. Over here we've got some cells, and all that yellow stuff inside, that's pollen. They will mix that with some water. Bees do need water. They need a source of water to go to every day. They will mix that with water, and they fan it and cool it, and it becomes honey, basically. It's a short, sweet version of it. No pun intended. All of this capped stuff right here, that is capped honey. So once they get their honey that is processed and ready, they seal it with a wax cap. And that wax cap keeps it there until the bees need access to it. In fact, here is more capped. It looks different. Oh wow, that's a good one. This whole frame, this is what you want to see. You want to see a whole box of it, really. That's all capped honey, and what happens is you take a knife we have a heated knife, electric heated knife, and we serrate the top layer of wax, just like he's doing with the hive tool, and then that honey gets spun out of the cells at a very rapid speed, and then it collects all the honey in the extractor. Have you found the queen yet?
I'm not showing the comb.
Okay.
It looks like it is not foundation.
So honey harvest is actually in August. We like to, oh, there is a drone right there. Let's see. The drones are big, fat ones. Chris is pointing out a drone. He's a big, fat one. Those are the males. They actually have no stinger, and they can't sting you. So they're pretty harmless. They don't do anything. You don't ever want to see a hive that has a lot of drones, because that issue's a problem. Go over here and see some cone that was attached to the top frame of the box, so it got kind of pulled apart, but you can kind of see here the cut apart layer of a hive, and it's your very typical hive. We have some bees over here that they are communicating. They are telling each other where to go and look for honey, or for pollen or nectar. They all get together like this and they communicate. They have their own communication system. Some of it is a wiggle waggle dance. They actually dance the pattern of where they need to go. So they dance out a map of where to go to find the best stuff. So these bees are actually talking, and you can see it's pretty amazing. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see their tongues. They are actually not only communicating with each other, but they are trading their honey. So they have this kind of lizard-like tongue that rolls out to get into the flower for the nectar or the pollen, and they suck the nectar up like a straw, and they store it there until they find one of their hive mates, and they literally spit it out. It goes into, they have two stomachs. It actually goes down into their honey storage stomach. They regurgitate it back up into another bee's mouth through their straw-like tongue. And then in that process, that helps break down the sugars that help it turn into honey. So that's pretty cool to see the bees doing that, trading off their honey storage, their nectar storage. So we have not found the queen yet, but we know she's there because there is some fresh larvae in the cells. Is there a sufficient amount? So the way we do our queens is we actually order our queens, and they come shipped in the mail to us. We try not to have to replace a whole bunch of queens. We do a rotation of our hives, and when we order our queens, we get them marked, and she will have a little dot, a colored dot on her back, and we also order her to be clipped so that she can't fly. Queens will leave the hive If the conditions are bad, she will take the hive with her, and they will relocate to another place to build a hive, another location. And this is called a swarm. We don't want our bees to swarm. We want to keep them in the box, so we order the queen clipped so that her wings she's not able to fly. I don't see a lot of drones, which is good. All of these that you are seeing are the worker bees, the females. Huh? Yeah. They kill the drones at the end of the season because they serve no purpose, and they are just extra bodies to have to keep warm and to feed. And so they will kill them, and they will take them out the front door, which is covered in bees right now. That is the front door. You can see lots of bees just hanging out at the front. We call that the front porch. And there are guard bees, which are again worker bees. That's another job. And their job is to stay on the porch and guard the door, because other bees, if more aggressive hives, they will actually rob another hive of all their honey. And we have encountered that for the first time this year. In all our years of doing bees, we've actually had one this year be robbed, and it was very disappointing because they had a lot of honey. That we could have used. So every time we close up a hive, they start to seal the hive down with what is it, propolis? Propolis. And that is all of this sticky stuff. It is very gummy and can make the boxes hard to pull apart, and that's why you need this little hive tool that Chris has. It helps with that. And when we put the box together, we have to make sure and brush the bees off because they could be squished in this process. We are using some smoke to get them to calm down. No one knows exactly why, but smoke has been used for millions of years, for the history of bees. As long as people have been getting honey, they quickly realized that smoke calmed them down. You can hear them getting louder, and that can be kind of a scary sound and a very intimidating sound, but really they're just more kind of confused. They're not able to sense the pheromones from the queen, so they go a little crazy. So you can see they're falling off the side there. They'll land all down at the bottom, and it's hard not to step on any. See, they're gathering back again. I'm going to see this little, where did it go? You can see me covered in bees. There was a little mite. There are hive mites. I didn't see many. Did you? There are hive mites or hive beetles in the hive that, I don't know really why they're there, but some will have more than others, and you really don't want them in the hive. But that's good that we're not seeing a lot of them. So we're putting the hive back together. We're closing them up. We didn't see the queen, and that's okay, but we saw evidence of the queen, and that's what's most important.